Hey KJ, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. You had one of your team's two sacks on Saturday night, but it seemed like y'all had a hard time getting to Ian Book. How much of that do you think was the offensive line, and how much was just his elusiveness?
A little bit of both for sure. Great offensive line that we played against this past weekend, and definitely a very elusive quarterback. We were trying to get there, and there definitely were some times that we had some great rushes and we're back there. But, obviously it has to be one of those things where it's a perfect situation of, covering them up and, keep them in the pocket and great coverage downfield. So a lot easier said than done. Definitely room for improvement for sure. But hats off to them. They balled out this weekend.
Hey Jay, this is Pete at AP. What's the mood of this group, of your group right now? If you guys heading into an off week?
And I think the overall move for the team is reload, number one. It's definitely a Band-Aid that was hard to rip off. But, it's win or lose, it's a rear view mirror mindset we have here. And we have a lot of respect for the next opponent we have coming up, Florida State. And we have to start preparing for them. They've been playing great football lately. And, we have to kind of flip the page, so to speak, and give them the respect they deserve. So it definitely some pain because, no one loves losing. And it's not something we're used to. But at the same time, we're focused on what's up next.
Because it's an off week, do you guys ever look at the national rankings or maybe what's ahead beyond Florida State, because you guys are so accomplished and accustomed to being in the college football playoffs?
We're not just stuck in underground. Like we know what's at stake, and we know the situation around us. But like I said before, at the same time, we don't take anybody lightly, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to want is for us to look ahead. But I know in this house, we're going to respect the next team we play and get ready for that next opponent. That's all that matters right now. And so obviously we'll get this week to improve ourselves, work on things that we can get better because there's a lot of areas where we can. But at the same time, that's all on the mindset right now is just get ready for the next one.
Hey, KJ, it's David Hood. Thought it was interesting that you probably didn't have much time to get back to the locker room and you immediately put out a tweet, hey, I think it was God is in control or something like that as a way of saying it's going to be okay. It's a loss. What was your mindset there? And were you kind of trying to make a statement that we're going to be okay?
For sure. Honestly, I like I said, we all take losses differently, and just what was on my heart was, God's still the one to praise, and I think that's just kind of a moment I wanted to share with the world because I feel like being a part of such a successful program, the fans and ourselves felt like that the world's over, and in the course of an entire pandemic, I just felt like I'd be a fool to really think that there's a lot of worse things going on than a Clemson loss. Obviously, something that we would never want, and we're going to work to fix. But at the same time, I just felt like it was a message that I wanted to put out there to take a grasp of the bigger picture. And like you said, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And we learned a lot from our game this past weekend, and so now it's just time to learn from it and get better and grow from it. And I think that was kind of my idea or kind of my thought. That's just what I was feeling in my heart.
KJ, Larry Williams here with TigerIllustrated.com. How surreal is it for a defense that enters the Notre Dame game in a really sort of extraordinary state, injury-wise, missing so many guys, to see so many more guys dropping left and right during the game?
Well, I'll tell you, it makes it a lot easier when you play D-line because then you can't see anybody behind you as far as who's on defense. You just see everything in front of you, and that's the other team. So from my perspective, I can say it made it a lot easier. Yeah, some guys went down for sure, but that's what type of year it is for everybody. We're not going to use that as an excuse. Everybody has people hurt, everybody has people sick, with the pandemic and whatnot. But it's a next man up mentality, and the guys obviously some young, had to step up and step in real quick. But like I said, it's not an excuse. we all had a chance. We had a chance to win the game, and so it's definitely it had nothing to do with injuries or anything like that. You know, we just got to come and, like I said, grow from this opportunity, which we will.
Hey, KJ, it's Anna with Clemson 24/7. How would you assess the play of the ends to date? And do you think there's another level for you guys this season to reach?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you skipped that at the beginning.
Yeah. How would you assess the play of the defensive ends to date this season? And do you think there's another level for you guys?
I'd say we're doing pretty well in my eyes. I think every game so far we've had a sack. Something we talked about and something we're trying to keep going. There's so much more room for improvement, and we understand that. And that's really what I love about this group is we are a talented group. We know that, but at the same time, we're not even looking at that. We're just trying to compete with ourselves, and ultimately that'll make us better, make the team better. So I definitely think we have a lot of talent in the DN room, top to bottom, side to side. But we know for sure that we can get better, and there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's what we're trying to work on every single day, for sure.
KJ, in the last few games, not just Notre Dame, but Boston College as well, how much has just sheer size of those offensive lines been an obstacle to the defensive line, creating sort of regular disruption that y'all like to have?
Size, I mean, that definitely comes into play when you play offensive line. The bigger, the better. But it's so much more. You know, it's a chemistry thing. It's a working together. It's just being on the same page and obviously picking up things from an offensive line standpoint. So just the last two games, we definitely had two great battles in the offensive lines that we played lately, for sure. But at the same time, you know, it's all on us. We can get better. There's things we can do better, ways we can attack, and we got to get better. So that's what this week's going to be good for, and we'll get a chance to improve what we do because at the end of the day, it's how we perform.
KJ, it's Trevor again. I know y'all really need this bye week to get healthy, but is it difficult to have to wait 2 weeks just to get that bad taste out of your mouth?
Yeah, some would say. For myself, I promise you, after we get started with today, it'll still be there, but it'll definitely be lessened. My focus and what I'm going to try and preach to the guys is just to get ready for the next one. It's going to hurt, and it's not really something we can change at this point. And I think that's kind of what helps me move on is there's nothing I can do about it now. All we can do is learn from it and grow from it. And that's something we would definitely do. The bye week doesn't help for sure. It's going to take a little longer. But like I said, we'll be okay, and we'll get better from the experience.
You redshirted 2 years ago, the last time you all played in Tallahassee. Are you particularly looking forward to just getting to play down there?
I actually am. That's a great question. I wasn't there the first time we got to play a couple years ago, and a team that recruited me and is very prestigious in college football. So it's kind of like Notre Dame. It'll be a cool place to play at, obviously in the league, but I didn't get to play there my first year, so I'm excited to go down for sure.
Hey, KJ.
It's David again. What's it like standing on the sidelines watching DJ at Notre Dame, first road start, a deficit again? You've been a freshman. You know what it's like watching that kid perform on that stage.
It's breathtaking, honestly. Like it is really amazing. I know where my mind was and where I was, and as a freshman, and it teaches you so many lessons and opportunities like that. Number one, that we all have a different path. God has a different path for us, and there's enough success in the world for all of us, for sure. And it was cool to see. It was really, really was. He played a great game. I told him that today. Obviously, he felt like he didn't do enough, but even in times like this, you have to let the kid know he balled out and definitely did everything he could do to put us in a place to be successful. And on the sideline, I was just doing nothing but cheering for him. I think the jitters were definitely there for all of us last weekend, and he balled out. And ever since then, I ain't worried a second about him because he's gonna be a great player for us, and has already shown that he is right now. So I cheer for him, and I'm excited to be a part of it. It's kind of that Trevor effect for sure. Just glad to be a part of the ride, and he can't forget me. We wear the same number, so it's fun being beside him every day and stuff like that. He's a great player.
Everybody talks about, or we did talk about back then, about Trevor and the arm strength, and was there a particular throw? Have you seen DJ make a throw either in a game or a practice where you're like, oh my God?
Yeah, that's a good one. DJ is stronger than Trevor, in my opinion. Trevor is very weak. And no, I'm just playing. But DJ has made a couple of throws like that for sure. I'd say the one that comes to mind is the back shoulder throw to Amari a couple weeks ago. I just feel like it got there so fast. Some plays over the middle of the field to Cornell last week got there so fast. And with those screens and whatnot, I just feel like the ball gets there. Every time he throws the ball, I feel like it gets there so fast. And it's definitely one of those things where it's like I might have made the right decision to play DN instead of tight end because he was throwing me the ball like that. I don't know how confident I would be in catching. You know, I definitely have the best hands on the D line, but it's questionable because he definitely has an arm on him. So it's been a lot of instances.
Hey, KJ, this is Will Vanderbilt with the Clemson Insider. I wanted to ask you how much you guys missed Tyler the last couple games not being on the line, and then what is it about him that he does so well that makes him so effective, especially when it comes to stopping the run?
Tyler, miss him. He makes the team better. There's no doubt about it. I'd say the biggest thing I miss about him, other than the maturity and the leadership that he brings to this team and our segment, is just his ability to make people better. I think that's something that's so unspoken and underrated in today's game. It's not an X and O. It's not something you can really chart or graph or write down. It's just something that you sense. And as a player who's been here long enough to know what that looks like from guys that were above me, he definitely had it, and he has it since day one. And it's been awesome to be a part of. So I think that's what I'm missing most. And we've been texting him, making sure he's okay, things like that. And I know he'll be back soon, but he makes us better for sure.
Any other questions for KJ?
KJ, Pete from AP again. This is kind of out of left field, but did you enjoy doing that Office parody with Skowski and the Pumpkinhead? And is that a show that you kind of watch and had known about?
Yes, that was a great time. All productions done with Skowski are so funny because everybody sees him as the dude's gonna kill somebody on Saturday, but Skowski's hilarious. He really is funny, and I love watching The Office. One of the best shows ever. So it was kind of cool. We have the best media team in the country, and for them to put that together scene to scene, I thought my acting was pretty well, if I must say so myself. But we have fun here. That's just what we do, and I'm glad we get to do things like that. It was a good time.
Did you ever worry that Venables might actually hit him with the baseball bat?
If he wanted to, he would have. Believe it or not, Coach V is a nice guy. I know that's hard to believe. He's a very nice guy. But if he wanted to do it, he'll find a way. We're not getting away from him, so it worked out.
Thanks.
Hey, KJ, I know you guys obviously haven't had Justin Foster this season. Just being at the same position, are you in communication with him, and kind of what are his spirits like right now?
Yeah, Mater. Love him. I am in communication with him, talk to him, every day, every other day. From outside looking in, can't really speak for him personally, but he looks fine. He looks like he's just doing the best that he can. He has different challenges and whatnot. So as far as, where he is in the process, that's between you guys and him. But, just talking to him and stuff, he's still the same old guy, upbeat, being a leader, doing the best he can for the team in the position he's in. So he's doing his part.